All right, looks like we are live. It looks like it's running pretty smooth so far. All right. Ah, wait, I forgot. I forgot an important step here. Yeah. Go away. Awkward pause here. I forgot to switch off all my mods. Okay. All right, we are back. Back and operational. And look here. So, it's been roughly a week since the last time I did this. My reasons for why it took so long in between streams is I was busy, working and the like. But also, I got a second monitor and I had to figure out how to make that work, which I did. Uh, I figured if I'm going to be doing live stream and such, and doing stuff like recording software and everything, then it makes sense to use a second monitor. Which I've been meaning to get a second monitor anyway for other purposes. But since I'm making the foray into live streaming, I figure I might as well bite the bullet and get that out and get that going. And so here we are, second monitor and everything. That's weird. Got a video on my phone playing. Okay. So, as it is, the last time I was here, if I recall correctly, I just finished setting up this steel stack here. No idea what I was doing, what direction that was going to go. It's not even pointing at anything specific. Oh yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, we got ourselves some biters to deal with. And defensive perimeter is not amazing. Well, I guess I don't know. Do I need to set up? Do I need to attack, or do I need to set up a defensive perimeter? Don't have time. Don't have any walls on me, nor do I have any time to get any walls set up. But that's up for the time being. So I might just want to invest in in setting up a defensive perimeter around key spots. It by no means will be the most effective form of defense, but with the factory growing and all, I'm not sure I got the resources. I'm not sure I'm gonna have the necessary. I'm not sure I'm gonna have enough resources to maintain a defensive perimeter. I might just have to go on the offensive. Well, let's just set up defenses for the time being. This early on, a handful of turrets should be fine, but I am definitely gonna need to expand as soon as possible. And I got a steel stack, so it would be helpful in getting myself some military science. So, I don't know, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, maybe not. It's the problem. It's the problem with taking a hiatus. Even if it was only for a week. Now I'm sitting there wondering, well, what my next step is. Most of my stuff is going to my steel stack. Okay. Got that. Two numbers. I got green science going, so I'm obviously researching all that stuff. And I'm at a point where I honestly, as it is, I can't really manage, I can't really operate fully without going full spaghetti with this setup. So, I don't know, it might be premature, but I might want to just consider, what's the word I'm looking for? Redoing a portion of the base. Which might seem a little silly at the time right now, because I literally just got all this set up. But as you can probably tell, it's not the best setup. I mean, it's enough to get me the science, to get me some science off the ground. Like I've got science moving, if a bit slow. And I literally just got a steel stack up, so it might seem silly, just put all the effort into a thing that I'm not even gonna really use right away. Having said that, this is the part where I have to admit I probably shot myself in the foot by arranging it like this. Future proofing has never exactly been my forte, so tell you what, I will at the very least get myself some infrastructure built up. Maybe not infrastructure. Maybe infrastructure is not the right word. I should at the very least get some brick. I'm gonna give myself some bricks. That's what I should. I'm gonna start with that. Because at the very least, if I am gonna redo some of my smelting stacks, then it might make sense to get finding my words here. I should at the very least be ready to if I do remake the smelting stacks. I do want to improve upon them, especially now that I've got steel furnaces up and running. I got that. So I need to. Which means I'm gonna need some stuff here. Get assemblers, get that, I'm definitely gonna need this. Maybe that. I need more miners. Alright, get those made. Okay. I don't like cliffs. Cliffs get in the way of construction. Okay. What was I doing? Okay. Bricks. That's what I need. Bricks. I don't have belts. I did not grab belts when I had chains. See what I mean about my lack of planning, lack of foresight, lack of lack of future proofing. I didn't even bring. I'm not even grabbing furnaces. What's wrong with me? Why is there red science in the box? What did I do? What did I do last week? How do I already forget forget everything I've done? Well, at least the setup is enough to at least make sure green science works. So I should be good at least for while that churns away. I mean, push comes to shove, I can always take out the one down there, but it doesn't look like the pollution cloud's expanding too far out, even though it is hanging dangerously close to those hives. Alright, I don't need a full stack of smelters, so let's... That's probably the best place to do it. Okay. Start here. And it's good enough place to start. Alright, we got better power poles, so of course those demand steel, which means, you know, once again, it's a good thing we got the steel stack up and running, even though we're not kind of not really using it. Actually, now that I think about it, having said that, I should definitely do something with it right now, or at the very least, I should at least be shoving steel into a box, because right now it's not doing anything for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get bricks and steel, because with bricks and with bricks and everything, I can make steel. I can automate the process for steel furnaces with these bricks here. That way, I can at the very least get myself steel furnaces, and I can transition into just straight steel furnaces. Still debating back and forth about it. I'm definitely gonna have to redo the base, but I'm wondering if this might be premature. I'm obviously not remaking it right away, right this moment, but I'm definitely gonna have to remake. So, guys, the big question is, do I want to remake it sooner rather than later? Because it won't be a big deal, this early in the game. I have a nasty habit of shooting myself in the foot when I do designs like this, because I don't really take into account lack of expandability in certain areas. And I'm not a big spaghetti fan because I don't know. A lot of times spaghetti gives me a headache because I'm sitting there trying to parse through it, figure out what my next step should be, and then I'm just like, no, then I just like, oh no, I don't like this at all. Yeah, this thing already kind of crashed and burned already, didn't it? It's not getting nearly enough iron. All of it's being eaten up by a steel stack. Let's at least get the steel stack moving in this direction here. Alright, got ourselves a railway. That's good. I definitely want to transition towards making trains. Making trains ain't exactly my forte, but that's partially why I want to put some bit more emphasis on it. I figure the more I do it, the better I might get at it, the better my understanding will be of it. I understand the basic principle, but I'm just not very good at it. Get these trees out of the way. I definitely want to move towards medium and bigger power poles. As useful as these smaller ones are, it takes way too many of them to get proper coverage and proper. So. What are they doing? Okay, just getting that going there. Steel's already over here. All right, let's get bricks. I'm gonna have to embrace the spaghetti for a brief bit, just so I can get myself some proper poles and some better furnaces. That's the name of the game right now. Let's see, get that. I guess that was my last splitter. Funny. Okay. Get these bad boys powered up. Alright, got ourselves steel furnaces. So with that, and these, barely any. That's fine. Should definitely do something about iron. Not enough iron ore coming through. It's coming in spurts on this side. Most of it's going with steel. I should fix that up. Oh, look, enough. I missed. Alright, slight improvement. Patch is never gonna run dry pretty soon. Pretty soon. I might just have to rebuild the whole thing. Necessity one way or another. What was the patch? Only got so much left in the patch here. We got 1, 2, 3. I can fix this. As soon as I get there's gonna come a time pretty soon where I'm gonna go a little insane because I am crazy about belt balancers. So I'm definitely gonna go insane with those. Okay, I got that. Gonna need this. Let's give me some ammo. Okay. Don't know why. I just like them. I think belt balancers are neat. Not been quickly by any means, but hey, we got furnaces. Unfortunately, iron. It's gonna take a bit for iron to catch up in any meaningful way. Am I boxing up any of these green circuits? I should definitely be boxing up green circuits. Alright, there we go. Okay. Yep, there you go. Iron is flowing, sort of. Well, it's flowing better than it was, at the very least. Yeah. belt balancing definitely is a big help. I don't have any. Oh well. It is what it is, I guess. I was gonna grab myself some gears, but then I realized I wasn't. I don't have a dedicated gear, any dedicated gear production. It's all going this direction. That's fine. I got iron plates. That's enough for making at least that much. Oh, here they come. Question is, what direction are they going? Are they going right for the stone production? And of course, they managed to be right outside my turrets. Well, at least we're talking small biters. Not sure how long I got until we get the medium ones, but oh yeah, sooner than you think. That's fine. Just gotta once again, just gotta make sure I keep an eye on pollution. Doesn't look like it's up. Nope, it is. Okay. Pollution is definitely up. Okay, so say we do get trains up and running. How far out can I go? There's nowhere on this map that isn't. This rough part about the early game with all the cliffs is that to make the base I want to make, I need space. The only way I'm going to be able to make space is if I had cliff explosives, which unfortunately, given this is Space Age, I won't get access to until Vulcanus, which is, after we get to space, which is a little inconvenient, but unavoidable. Which means spaghetti is unavoidable. I'll have to deal with the space that I'm given until I can get that far. Which, if that's the glitch in that case, I'm thinking I need to move towards fluid handling quicker than intent. Tell you what, I should definitely push more towards chemical science, which means getting, oil production and all that off the ground at the very least. I know I'm not exactly in a I'm not exactly in a really big spot for that level of oil for like mass production for a lot of this, but at the very least, if I can at least get that up and running, and then while I'm transitioning to a bit more of a better base with better production, then at least I'll be on track. I'll have a better footing, I guess. I wasn't sure where that thought was going, so it didn't quite finish in any logical or a brilliant place. Well, the multitasking that I gotta do for this is a little bit hard to do. And by multitasking, I mean playing the game and also expressing my thoughts at the same time, like making commentary and all that sort of thing. It's hard to do. I get fluid handling off the ground. I'm gonna get fluid handling off the ground, so I at least get chemical stuff and everything. And I could, if I can get towards military science, then I can potentially transition to flamethrower turrets, which would definitely come in handy, especially if I can, especially if I want to set up a perimeter around my base, which I might want to start thinking about. It's gonna be a little tricky with all these cliffs, but I can make use of them. But I can really, at the very least, make use of the cliffs in setting up a perimeter. Fluid handling, all that. Okay. Let's get ourselves some pump jacks. Oil gathering. Okay. Good news about getting oil off the ground, even if it is a tad early. Oil fields are literally right there. That'll definitely come in handy. Oh, look, here we go. And now they're dead. Okay. I might want to think about reinforcing my steel stack. Alright, I got the furnaces. I got furnaces and I got the bricks. I should definitely start moving towards walls. Get myself some walls. Whatever bricks aren't being turned into furnaces get turned into walls. And I'm gathering steel, so I'm gonna need to use a steel for other stuff. I need repair packs. I'm gonna need to be repairing stuff soon enough. Especially if I'm gonna be preparing myself for biter attacks. Might not be, hang on. What? No. I don't have it unlocked yet. I was thinking about, I was considering moving towards military science, but I don't have the resources quite have the resources for it just yet. I've only got the one stone patch. Well, the one nearby. There is this one, which I could probably use. Might be a bit tricky though. But between this, the steel stack, and we got plenty of copper to work with. I definitely could transition more towards military science, especially if I'm not entirely sure where that thought was going. Like, we're honestly fine for the time being, but I'm concerned about all these biter nests around me. If I'm gonna increase production, that means I'm gonna increase pollution, and if I increase pollution, I'm gonna get a bit attacked a lot more. And if I get plus with all if I keep polluting, then evolution's gonna go insane, and I do need to transition towards red ammo at the very least. But then they still have the issue of production is not looking too hot. It's barely able to get green science off the ground. We're barely able to root those green science, so I definitely need to fix that up. Forgot to. Oh yeah. That's not. Yeah, that might explain some issues. Power consumption is too high. Better get more. Let's see, do I by any chance have an extra? Yes I do. 1, 2, there's those. Gonna get those out. Gonna make two of those. Let's make 2 more, 1 of those. Oh. That explains quite a bit actually. Alright, if that's operating then well, still need more power. Yeah, it's better. Not amazing. I'm definitely gonna have to upgrade that again pretty soon. In fact, I might just have to update it as soon as I get these miners set up because I want to try and increase my iron throughput. That's the entire iron patch being utilized now. Not sure how long that's gonna last, but I don't imagine it'll last long. So I will admit, part of this stream is getting back into it, sort of. I mainly just wanted to test out how it looks with the second monitor, which is not that different from operating with only with two monitors. But hey, at the very least, we get slightly more confident with the setup, at least, because now I can just glance over to see how things are doing. That would be a lot more convenient in the long run. I'm glad I can see that the live stream is doing alright, so this has actually worked out pretty well. So with that said, I'm probably going to call it here-ish. But before I go, a couple things. With this being the third live stream, even if it is only a partial stream, I definitely want to start doing this more regularly. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna see about actively making more of a schedule. I don't know that it'll be super duper regular. I'll shoot for at the really just to start off. I'll shoot for maybe twice a week, maybe. And I'm gonna try and shoot towards 2 to 3 hours live streams, and see how far that goes. I'm definitely gonna have to get over that weird exhausted feeling I get whenever I live stream. I don't know why. I don't know why it happens. It just seems to. I think it's a mixture of things. Having to use the extra brain power to multitask. Trying to find topics to discuss with myself. I don't know why I find talking to myself to be so draining. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, or just there's something about it that just doesn't feel right to me. I don't know. I definitely want to go. I definitely want to get used to it though, because you're gonna have to if I'm planning on doing this more actively. But hopefully, with that in mind, I'm going to. Hopefully, this will get off the ground a lot better. Don't know if I'm gonna pick specific days to consistently have live streams on. Well, I'll see about it. I'm gonna just. It's definitely things I'm gonna definitely be thinking about, especially in the coming days. I know this run is gonna be a cause for a lot of headaches, both for myself and I imagine anybody watching me. For me, because this is just not the kind of playthrough I'm used to. I've kind of ruined the experience for myself slightly just by using a ton of mods that I had to shut off before starting this. Because again, I like to play with the mods. There's just some of them are just cool on their own, but others add some really cool, interesting quality of life changes that I find very helpful, very useful. So it's a little weird operating without them. But like I said, I can get used to it. It'll take me a bit, but I can get used to it. Plus, it'll be good because then I can at the end of this, I can at the very least say that I played Factorio as it was intended to be played. And hopefully it'll still end up being fun. by the end of it all. So, with that said, I bid you adieu for now, for the time being, and I hope everyone has a blessed day. Bye bye now.